Hello, everyone. Hope you're extremely well. We are here privileged today to be with Leandie du Randt. I'm pretty sure most of you know Leandie du Randt. She's been everywhere. She's presented. Uh, what was it? What was it called? That series that was so big.
Love Island, South
Love
Africa.
Island. Love Island. She has also been an actress. She has her own business to be boxes. She's grown a personal brand to something amazing. She's got more than 200,000 followers on Instagram, and that is pretty amazing. And I mean, Instagram alone is such a great tool if you want to scale your brand and business. And today's episode is basically just how do you build your own brand, and just some of the tips from Liani's life, because I mean, we can really listen to her. She's been there, done that. And I remember the first time Liani and I met, I told her well on successes, and she just said success is relative. And I'm like, wow, that's deep and quite humble. So Liani, nice to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for that beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. It is such a privilege to talk to people and to be introduced to new people. I never assume that anyone know who I am. I always say that I don't believe South Africa actually has celebrities. I think the only celebrity we have is Nelson Mandela, because the whole world knows who he is. It's so important you mentioning that success is relative, because let me start there. It's really, for me, that is really a big and important thing. We all think that success is when you're rich, or when you're married at 30, or you have 2 kids at 30, or you drive a smart car, you live in a mansion, or that is what the world kind of wants us to believe success is, But I think it's very important, talking about building your own brand and who you are, is to first and foremost to know who you are as a human. What do you like? What do you stand for? What's your values? What's your passion? Who do you want to be remembered as? And secondly, because that goes with authenticity, and secondly is to know what success is, because it is relative, and it should be relative. It shouldn't be to have 2 kids and be married if that was your mother's ideal, but it's not yours, So I don't know if you want me to start with point 1, or how you want to do this. You can say.
Yeah, that's a great opening point, and I think that's just on the point of setting your own goals, and if you reach those goals, to celebrate the small victories every time, and at the end, celebrate the big victories.
Definitely.
So to get back to your personal life, so I think there's 2 aspects of how to build brand in this episode. The one is, how do you build your personal brand? Because I think there's many people out there, whether it's musicians, actors, whatever it is, that want to build their own brand. And then the second aspect, building your brand as a business, because you've done both. So on your personal brand, you started many years ago as also someone just trying to hustle around to get the first movie probably, or whatever it was. I don't know where you started. So if you can just talk us through where you started, and as you just go through the journey, some of the lessons that you've learned that others can also take and help them in their journeys.
Yes, of course. So since I was a little girl, and I actually just posted it on my Instagram before we started this recording, I wanted to be a performer. I wanted to be an entertainer. I loved pretty things like cell phones and makeup and all that stuff, movie stars. My mom always recorded me. I have so many tapes of me singing, bathing, getting dressed, doing random things. She just always recorded me and asked me questions. So I was so used to having a camera in my face. It's the weirdest thing. I always say that now. It's like, if there's no camera in my face, I'm like, where's the camera, guys? Can someone just start recording? It's like, it's the biggest gift my mother could ever give me, to make me comfortable in front of a camera. And she passed, unfortunately, 2014, but that's the biggest gift that she left me with. And with all those recordings, to still hear her voice and see her in it and stuff like that, So I've always wanted that. I always had that passion and dream inside of me. And I think, if a lot of people, before I even start with my story, because to know what you want to do, is a lot of people always tell me, but Leandie, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what my passion is. And I think a big thing that helped me in my life is to go back to who I was as a child. And it's actually called narrative career counseling. And it's really to go back to, what did you do with your time when you were a child and no one told you what you should do? Your mom was just like, keep yourself busy, or you have this free time, you can play, or you can do whatever you want. What's the things that you did? Did you teach? Did you build stuff? Did you pretend to be in a movie? Did you pretend to be go back to that and go find that childlike spirit inside yourself, because she is there. He is there. You just have to go and look for him. So that's obviously what I wanted to do. But my father was like, he didn't want me to really study acting, because he was scared that I don't have anything to fall back on, because it's a very fickle industry, as the music industry as well, especially in South Africa. I mean, overseas you can do one movie and you're fine for 2 years, but not in SA. Unfortunately, we don't get paid well. So I told him, okay, fine. I love people and I love working with people and how our minds work. I love like learning about that, because he gave me a self-help book in standard 8, that's grade 10, and I fell in love with it. Stephen Covey's The 10 Habits of Highly Effective Teens. So I know that was something I was also interested in. So I told him I will go study BCom Industrial Psychology, but I'm going to go to UJ. I'm not going to go to Pretoria where all my friends are, because UJ has all the acting agencies, all the modeling agencies. One of my friends were already there, and she told me I have to go to UJ if I want to keep that drama door open. So I just told God that he's in control. I'm going to do something to cover my back, but he knows what my passion is. And I pray that he will get me out there, you know? So in my first show, I was in race, and then I had to do the beauty pageant for the race. And no, I didn't win, because ek is nie ordentlik genoeg nie. I'm not proper enough. I'm not a beauty queen. So I did not win. But I just decided to be myself on stage, and I waved at my friends and I shouted into the crowd. So that night, I'm so glad I trusted my gut and my authenticity, because then I won Miss Personality. And the prize that evening for Miss Personality was Brumilda van Rensburg's drama course. And it was literally every Saturday. It was 2 kilometers from our residence. So I could do that while studying. And literally in my first year that I attended her drama course, she helped me to get my first role in Getroud met Rugby, which was as Mika. And that was in 2008 when I was 19. So that's basically when my drama and acting started, and it was while I was studying. So I just had to juggle both, because I told myself, I'm not going to stop studying. I'm going to finish this degree, because just because I have a part now in something doesn't mean it's going to go on like that, because a lot of people warned me about the fickleness of the industry. And yeah, so I finished my degree, I juggled everything, but as I got the one part, it led to the next one, the next one, the next one. Then I started doing music videos. And as you said earlier, like you have to hustle in the beginning, you know, to get your name out there. And I literally did music videos for free. I did like 10 music videos in 6 months. They started calling me the music video sluts. I was like, okay, I have to stop now. I have to stop now. Pardon sensitive viewers, but it was a bit too much. But then people started recognizing me, and then you meet people on set, then you network, then that one book you for something else again, and this one, and that's how it goes. So networking is another big lesson that I've learned with the story that I just told. So the first lesson was to always show up as yourself, because if I didn't show up on stage as myself, but as a beauty queen because I wanted to win, then I wouldn't have won Miss Personality, and I wouldn't have done the drama course. But because I showed up as my unapologetic self, it led me to realize my dream quicker. And then the second one now was networking, like I just said. Like wherever you are, whoever you work with, always treat them with respect, and network, because you don't know if they can give you another opportunity, or they present you with another opportunity. And you never know if the guy that's bringing you the coffee on set is actually going to be the next big producer, you know? But then you treat him like he's scum, and then in 10 years' time, he's like, no, sorry, now you want to come for audition, but you didn't even thank me when I brought you the coffee. And that happens a lot of the time. So always treat everybody like they are somebody. Always, always, always. Whether they can do something for you or not, you can do something for them that day and thank them for what they're doing and have an impact on their life, you know? Yeah, so that's just how it snowballed, you know? And then I came, after my honors, I had to really decide, am I going to register with the HPCSA and be an industrial psychologist, or am I going to act? Because I couldn't do both, you know, because you have to be available to go for auditions, to put yourself out there. And the corporate life don't allow you to just quickly go for an audition or quickly do that. So I had to make that decision finally. And I decided to go do my internship for 6 years. 6 months. Goodness, thank goodness it wasn't 6 years. At JVR. And just to get registered as a psychometrist, because then I have it for the rest of my life. But in that 6 months, I was so unhappy because I missed acting. I missed going out, doing, you know, just being who I am. And it's in that time that I was the guinea pig at the office for Prof. Maria to do his narrative career counseling. And in that session, he made me realize, but I shouldn't be in the corporate environment. I can work with corporates, but I should be me. And I should go live my passion, my life, who I am. And a big part of it is to help people, you know, to reach their dreams, to reach their potential, because I have that psychological need, you know. But I can do it with my acting platform better than I can do it in a corporate environment. And that is what he helped me to bring the two worlds together. And it's just after that, sorry, I'm going to stop mumbling now. It's just after that, to sum everything up, I was 24 at that stage, when I also started writing my first self-help book for teenage girls, because I was going through all these struggles. I didn't know what I want to do. I just came out of bad relationships, studying, didn't know what to do. This, you know, your body's changing. So I just decided I'm going to use this, what I studied, my psychological degree, my passion for people, and put it in a book for teenage girls so they can read it and know that they are not alone. You know, we all go through this stuff. And I think that's kind of how it happened coincidentally. I think by God's grace, that I started doing a lot of different things, but yet all of it falls under the same umbrella, which I believe is my purpose, and that is helping people reach their potential and realize their potential and their dreams.
Well, that's super powerful, and you know, so many things just they stood out for me. The first one is taking action, and that's also a theme that comes every time we have interviews. Is, you know, everybody wants, you have to build this brand, but you're not going to be able to build a brand if you don't have a brand. And it's all about to have a brand, you must first start somewhere, and that is where the hustling comes in. Even if you have to do things for free or things you don't necessarily want to do, as long as it's within your vision and morals and all of that. And that's to the second point where you said your purpose. And time after again, if you look at all the successful people, the most successful people is because they followed their passions, and usually your purpose, I think, lies in your passion. We are all given our passions for certain reasons.
Amen.
And yeah, the third reason was treat people with respect. You never know what's going to come back out of that, and it's more giving than just taking. So that's really powerful word. So then you later on you went on and you started your own business as well. How did that happen? And yeah, just tell us more.
So as I discovered myself after I now committed to being a freelancing actress, entrepreneur / you know, motivational speaker, writer, I started starting to live what I preach, because I was like, I kept on telling people, follow your passion, take chances, take action. But then there was still this big passion in me. I've got like a passion for clothes and for fashion and for dressing up since I was a little girl. And my mom used to make clothes, but I used to think it's so lame, because, you know, when you're little, it's like only poor people make their own clothes, you know. And now today I'm like, damn it, I should have let my mom teach me how to make clothes. Because then I discovered, when she died, we went through all her stuff, and I discovered old patterns, you know, that she used to have, her machinery. I got all these memories back, and I was just like, but all these patterns are back in fashion now. And my then mother-in-law, she loved making clothes. So I started asking her to just make me like these patterns ad hocly, you know, like just make me this or do that. And I started loving it and wearing it. And people would say, I love this dress. Where did you get it? I'm like, oh, my mother-in-law made it for me. And that's how I started making the idea in my head of just like creating this fashion brand. So I started Squidward clothing, and I called it Squidward because my Squidward was making the clothes, and the more it was from my mom's old patterns, and it's vintage. You know, you always said it just Squidward's outdates and whatever. So there was a lot of meaning in the name Squidward clothing. And yeah, I started making the clothes that I wanted to wear and just producing like 10 to 20 units of it and selling it, and it's boomed, and it did so well. Once again, because I followed my passion, like you said, and you take action and you take a chance. But then with my acting, with my motivational speaking, everything, it really just became too much. And because I'm not that business savvy, I couldn't get the business to a place where it was profitable enough for me to leave my acting or stuff and rather just do that. So I came to a decision 2 years ago. What am I going to just like stop with? Because I had too many balls in the air. And, you know, when you have too many things, you can't do one good. That's also not, that doesn't mean you're hustling. That means you're just overworked and you're going to burn out. So sometimes you have to really just focus on 1, 2, max 3 things that are good and that you can hustle. The other stuff, unfortunately, you have to let go or outsource. And that's when I started making a joke that I want to sell Squidward. And I started sending the intention out there. And I literally put a story up, and this guy heard my story. And he said he's never watched my stories, but that day he felt like watching my stories. And he heard that I made a joke that I want to sell Squidward. And he immediately said he wants to buy it for his wife because his wife loves fashion. And we started chatting, and it was 3 months later, and I sold it. So I sold it last year, September, in lockdown, helped them with the patterns, with everything. My name is still there as founder, but I don't have anything to do with the designs or the managing of it, whatever. But then in that time, my sister-in-law got this idea for gift boxes. She was listening on the radio and Jacaranda, and they were saying, we had 147,000 brides in 2018 in SA or something like that. And she was sitting there, she was like, who gives gifts to all of these people? And where do they get gifts? And she just started, but why don't we like create a gift business? So it started as a gift industry for only brides and bridesmaids and kitchen teas and then baby showers. But now today it is, we do gift boxes for any occasion. You literally go online, you build your own box, you send it to someone that's in pain, someone's birthday, someone's baby shower, someone that's getting married, for any occasion. For corporates, we do gift boxes. So it literally started as one idea and we just took action and we made it a big concept. The reason why this one is doing so well and Squidward didn't do so well when I managed it, and here's a lesson because you like lessons, right? It's because I was trying to do everything myself with Squidward. And that includes the stuff that I had no knowledge in. So I'm good with getting ideas, making things look pretty. I'm like a designer and creative, but I'm not business financial savvy. So I didn't do the right markups. I didn't have the right business model. And this is one thing Martinus Broodryk will also tell you. The first thing in this book is, if the first place you're going to spend money in a small business is appointing someone that knows something that you don't, that's going to help your business grow. That's where you should spend money. So my sister studied financial accounting. So she helped us create a model and a business and a structure where we actually have a lucrative business. And that's why it could keep on growing to where it is now, almost 3 years later. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been that lucrative. And I think that is the big problem with a lot of young entrepreneurs today, is that we start this business, we have this dream, we think it looks pretty, we put our website on, but we don't think about all the small hidden costs. How much does this paper I put it in cost me? How much does this electricity bill? Because it all adds up and you all have to put it into your prices, right? To make sure that you are making enough profit to not only scale the business, but make it grow, exponentially. So that's a big, big lesson that I've learned, is to get people to help you do things that you have no knowledge of. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I can relate on so many levels. Just a personal story as well. When I started FinMeUp, I basically started it while I was still in university with a WhatsApp group. So I also started on my own, but later on, as it just went by, it's just you need people, and getting that right people. So I'm guessing you got the right people. So what would you say, how do you know which people to actually get part of your brand? Because I mean, you have to be protective of your brand. So who do you get involved? How was your filter system work?
That's a very good question. Firstly, I'll come back to my own brand and my own social media and stuff. But with To Be gift boxes, specifically, you won't believe it, but we're only a team of six females. And I do a lot of the creative work still myself. I do it in the evenings after all my other work. That's the thing with entrepreneurship, at least in the first 3 years of your business. You have to be able to do the stuff yourself. You have to work hard. You have to put in the hours. If you're not willing to do that, your business is not going to grow. And it's not going to grow in a way that you've seen it to grow because you are not as actively involved. You need to be actively involved to take the business to the vision where you want it. So to do as much as you can and what you are good at, to still do that, but then to get people that are also good at what they do. So my sister-in-law does the finance and the processes, the operations. She's very good with that. She studied that. She's got a passion for that. But she's also good with creative. So she can say, I like this or I don't like this. But then the people we get to work with us in the office is people that I've either come across due to networking or past businesses that I've had. Like our customer service girl I took with me from Squidward. And she was introduced to me by Boer, my ex-husband. So she's come with me a long way, you know, and it's someone that I really had a relationship with and that I trust. She also does sculpt the same note stuff. She also does Liefdewijn. So it's someone that I know I can trust and that's good. And then the other lady that we have, we literally found her through doing our printing with her for the past 2 years. But then she lost her job there due to lockdown. But I always liked her. Like when I saw her at the reception, I always liked her. I liked her energy and she always stood out for me. So she was always in my head. And we started doing an interview with her, did a brain profile. We always use the Quibbers Netling brain profile just to see how is this individual? How do we need to talk to her, to manage her effectively, to know her personality? And then the other lady we have, it's actually one of my friends. She started working with me on a movie we did, Tyson Tricks. She worked on the crew, but she's so good with people and like liaisons and getting customers. Her name's Anya. So we wanted that energy, you know, to go out, to get people for our company, to make our company be seen, to talk to the corporates, all that stuff. So I think we build our team with people that we trust and that we know. And a lot of people say, don't mix business with family and friends, right? Because that's what we're doing now to be kind of. But I tell you this, I spend so much time with these girls. If I didn't like them and I didn't want to see them, I wouldn't have loved the job so much. And I don't think the job would have been so successful because now I don't mind putting in the extra hours because I work with people I like, with people I trust. The only thing you really have to be vigilant of is to not take something that's about business personal. So you have to get a safety word in the office when it's someone close that you worked with. That I'm going to tell you something now. So cheeseburger, it's very business. It's not about you as a friend. It's not about you as a sister. This is purely business. I don't like this. Please, can we do this? So you just have to get that understanding. And I really do think that it's possible. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's awesome. You know, and it's usually good to know your co-founder or partners beforehand because everybody has issues and we all do things wrong and we do things great. But if you can know the wrongs beforehand, that's always great. And testing relationships. So yeah, that's awesome. When it comes to, you know, your Instagram, for example, and the brand you built. So let's back to the brand. I mean, to be Gift Boxes has thousands of followers and you've got plenty of customers and your personal brand has plenty of customers. If you can pinpoint it to just let's say three short reasons of anyone out there that is maybe not an actor, but that doesn't have that personal brand, but just they've got this little business, this e-commerce site or whatever it is, just some pinpoints that you can just pin down for some tips of how people can actually just get traction and build brand.
So I'm not a social media digital expert, right? And I must say that I'm very blessed to have the platform that I have. And obviously that has helped my businesses to grow. But now, very good question, like you asked, what do you do when you don't have that platform? That's also why I help a lot of local suppliers. Like the top I'm wearing is a local supplier, they send it to me. But to answer your question, first and foremost, whether you just started out or whether you are me, you have to have a look and a feel, and it has to be authentic. It has to be who you are. It shouldn't be copied from someone else. You can steal like an artist. I like this brand's packaging. How can I change it to make it mine? I like this brand's logo. How can I change it? So you can steal a bit, but you have to go back to who you are. Don't copy people like this. You know, it comes out and you will always be second if you copy. You will always be second, because you're always going to be the follower. So find a look and feel that's authentic to you and try and showcase that with your Instagram, with your website. It should speak to each other, you know, and it should look nice. I hear about a business and then I go on the Instagram and then the Instagram doesn't represent who they are. And I look at it and I'm like, but this is like the first thing people see when they go, these days they don't even go to the website, they go to your Instagram. So make it look pretty, you know, and if you don't know how to do it, then that's a place where you can spend money. Get a social media manager that can make it look pretty for you if it's not your own passion. I refuse to let anyone touch my Instagram or to be's Instagram. I do everything myself because I know that's my strength and my passion. So I will rather outsource stuff that I don't get time for, you know, and that I don't have the passion for. But the stuff that you know you're good at, focus on that and outsource the other stuff so that it all looks nice on all levels. That's the second thing. And the third thing is really about contacting brands that you can do giveaways with and collabs with, because I can see how that helps the small businesses grow with their followers, with their traction. Go Google certain times. When's the best time to post on Instagram? Like go find brands that you love and you want to work with, and email them or send them your product list or a nice catalog with your pictures and your wholesale prices. But then another thing that we've recently discovered is really worth spending some money on is Google Ads and keywords, on your website, that it can pick it up. And that's really something that people can investigate more. I have no technical knowledge on that, but you will know more about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all those little skills we can learn these days on courses and all of that. So, I mean, the educational tools are there, and if you really don't find passionate, you can find someone else, like you said. I don't know which successful person it was, but the quote, and the words won't be exactly correct here, but it was something like, I think it was Jack Ma that said, he's not the smartest, he's just very good at getting smarter people than him. And it's the diversification factor. It's getting people around you, and if you can all fit into the same vision. So in conclusion, and I'll say that very in conclusion, because I was actually part of the accelerator this year with FinMeUp. FinMeUp was part of the accelerator, and one of I can't remember who it was, but he said usually when you say in conclusion, everybody's like, okay, now it's time to listen. So in conclusion, let's just run down some of the final points that just stood out from how to build a brand, or anything you can add. So from my side, that I just stood out for me was, first, take action, part of the hustling. Just get something out there, get yourself out there, just start trying things, doing things. You'll learn from that and you'll improve. Secondly, get people around you that are better at you with certain aspects. I mean, if you can build a team that's all actually better than you, then you've succeeded, because then they will help your brand grow. Thirdly, it's find your passion and fill that passion. Which you also said with that book you launched in your early 20s, you found some problems, or you had to deal with some things as a teenager. You learned from that, and then you can fall back, because there's other people that also struggle with that. So if you can find your own problems, in my case with FinMeUp, I remember in school, FinMeUp started as only focusing on investing and just shares. And I remember being in school as a schoolboy and just putting my phone in my pencil case, hiding it from the teachers, and just reading up on shares. And I couldn't really find, the content I was looking for, the tools I was looking for. And that's how FinMeUp started. It's falling back on the problems that you faced, and then finding solutions for it. Because if you can solve your own problems, you probably solve those around you. So
that's exactly it. There's a quote that says, don't sell a product, sell a problem. Because you have to solve a problem, and then you immediately solved you sold your product. Yeah, exactly. By solving the problem.
That's part of building a story. People want to hear a story. A brand is a story. I mean, if you think of Nike, it's the story they tell with their athletes. If Usain Bolt's running Nike, it's inspirational. And I think that's, if you can really understand why you're doing something, it comes with building the brand. So that's from my side. What can you add on that, if you have anything else left to add?
Well, with the what did you say? I wanted to add the purpose, right? Because passion and purpose goes together. But you have to have a bigger purpose with your business. Sure, it can be just to make money, but sometimes also, go dig deeper. Like, what is the more philanthropical, philanthropische thing behind it? Because that's going to help you continue during the tough times when you're not necessarily that lucrative, or when you're struggling, when you're trying to figure it out. And it's like you said, when you fail, just take action. You're going to fail sometimes. It's not going to work. Then you get up, you get back up, and you try something else. You get back up and you try something else. There's so many self-made millionaires that, how many times did they go in full cent? You get in full cent, and then kom hulle net weer op. Then they just try something new. So just keep on going, keep on hustling and trying till you find that something that works for you. And it's really to be grateful. I think that's one thing I want to really reiterate, is if you can have a grateful heart, whether it's in business, whether it's your personal life, we tend to only focus on the stuff that's going wrong in our lives, or the things that we think we lack. But the more you can focus on what is going right today? What did my team do right today? What did I have one order today? And say, yay, I had one order today. And, oh, I had one order today. Or, oh, I have cellulite. Oh, but I can see I have cellulite. So I can see. I'm blessed to be able to see, you know. It's just changing your perspective and your mind about your life so that you get yourself into a state of gratitude, because gratitude, the more you find to be grateful for, the more you attract. And it's also to have a vision board for your company. Like put it in the boardroom or put it in your office at your desk, or see it, envision it, and feel grateful for it as if it has already happened, you know, like have that number there or have that spirit there or whatever it is. You know.
Yeah, and I think, you know, part of big victories and, you know, massive breakthroughs comes a lot of small victories, and it's very important to celebrate small victories. That's something that I've struggled with, because I'm very driven when it comes to, you know, this has to be done, just get there. And sometimes it's good just to sit back and look how far you've come already and just celebrate that, because that helps with building momentum, and momentum is a key element to big success. And also what I just want to add on that why is a practical example, what I did as well, and I think can maybe help others, hopefully, is when you have a business idea or idea of what you want to do, whether it's maybe not even a business idea, just maybe a non-profit even, or whatever you want to do, is ask yourself, why do you want to do that? And then to whatever you answer, just ask again why. And then to that answer, why, until you literally can't say anymore, because then you really understand your why, and your why is also your purpose. And I think, you know, when you do something with purpose, the objective is way greater than yourself, and that's the most motivating factor. So I think, you know, it falls back on the why. So, yeah, thanks for that, Leandie, and we'll probably do another session like this. I mean, this was great, and it's so short period to get so much info. So follow Leandie du Randt, follow To Be Boxes.
To Be Gift Boxes.
To Be Gift Boxes, sorry.
You always forget the gift.
It's everything to be. But yeah, we're also going to do a giveaway, probably, maybe.
Yes.
So stay tuned for that. So follow those accounts. Share this to your friends who you think should hear this, how to build a brand, and just some nice dessert toppings on the side on that. So thank you so much, Leandie. And it was great to have you here.
Thank you. And I just want to say before we go, thanks for everyone that was watching and that supports local and small businesses. Like, we can't live our dream without you guys. Really, thank you. And well done to you for starting up FinMeUp. And it's doing so well. And you can be so, so proud of yourself. Celebrate the small victories.
Yeah, but it's also the team. The team, definitely, like you said, getting those people on board. So it's also a big shout out then to the team. Awesome. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos like these.
Thank you.